not really the brown girls from Jersey City who save the world.
How does it feel to be back home after wrapping up the production of Miss Marvel?
It feels so good. It feels comfortable. You know, it's been sensory overload in the last 2 years. So now I'm just back in my hometown, Tim Hortons, all I need.
Kamala.
Another Avenger shirt.
You know, Kamala is a normal teenager going through school when she discovers, you know, she has these superpowers. She says life is better with superpowers. Growing up here in Canada in high school, could you have maybe used some superpowers? Maybe not morphing into different shapes, but would that have been helpful?
I don't know if superpowers would have taken away from the awkwardness of my coming of age, if you will.
And she's going through that in the show too, because after the powers, when she walks down the hallway after she discovers powers, she's like a totally different person. Right?
Yeah, right. I mean, the confidence of just knowing that you're better than everyone else and no one knows it. Yeah.
Are there any similarities between, you know, Iman's teenage years and Kamala's teenage years?
Yeah, I literally put my entire self into this show. Before we started filming, I was like on calls with our producers and directors. And they were like, okay, just like tell us, so who was your favorite teacher? What did you do in high school? Like, who did you have a crush on? Like, everything just about my high school life, and they just put so much of that into the story, and it just made it really easy for me to kind of slip into the character as well.
Dressing up as Captain Marvel's weird. I spend too much time in Fantasyland.
You said it's easy to slip into the character. What a lot of folks don't know, like, this is your first big role.
It's my first role.
How do you go from, you know, being this Markham, you know, teenager, to getting like Miss Marvel?
Yeah.
How did it come about? How did it happen?
WhatsApp.
You've been online a long time.
I have. I mean, my aunt sent me a WhatsApp forward that she got through this entire forward chain of Miss Marvel casting calls. And I'm like, look, this is not real. I don't know what casting calls look like, but they don't just come from WhatsApp. It was real. It worked out. I sent my self-tape, and then 2 days later, they called me to LA.
But you knew this character.
I knew it by the back of my hand. I read all the comics when I was in high school.
Tell us how you discovered Miss Marvel yourself. Somebody that looked like you in a comic book. I remember when I discovered Black Panther when I was young, and I thought that was so cool to see myself represented like that.
Yeah, I mean, I was an MCU fan growing up, and I just had the fattest crush on Iron Man, and I wanted more Iron Man, and so my high school is right across from a comic book shop, so I would just pop by, spend all my allowance on Iron Man comics, and then found an Ironheart comic with Riri Williams, and Kamala was on the cover of that one, and I was like, oh my God, brown girl, who's she?
Wow.
Yeah, that sent me into a wormhole of Miss Marvel comics, and I dressed up as her on Halloween, and now I have a real suit that's made for me.
I'm a superhero.
So this character is very specific, but it's also very universal. What do you hope people take away from it? How do you hope people relate to this character?
Yeah, I do think our show has such a universal appeal and charm with the way we showcase fan culture and religion and action and coming of age. It's a lot to juggle, but
new immigrants and, you know, dealing with parents.
But these stories are so true, and I hope, you know, Marvel fans can kind of relate to Kamala on a real cellular level. You know, the show is a love letter to the fans. You know, we want to encourage and appreciate and motivate fans to continue making art and cosplays and all the Reddit forums, because those matter, and it's a lot of work being a Marvel fan. Like this fandom, we're 34 projects in. It's hard.
That'll make Captain Marvel in court. It won't be the first case in the American judiciary to hug it out.
But you're no longer a fan now. You are part of the Marvel universe. You could be on that screen with Iron Man.
I am still a fan first. No,
you could be up there with Iron Man.
He's so dead.
No, bring him back. Come on. I mean, what's it like playing in the Marvel universe? Come on, like everybody would love to be a Marvel superhero.
It's intimidating. I'm. You know, working with the people I idolize. The first person I got starstruck with was Sarah Finn, who's the casting director, and then Luis Despacito, who's Marvel's EP, and so that was just
and
insane.
You knew all these people before?
Yes, Sarah was like, so we're gonna have someone direct your screen test, and I was like, who? And she's like, oh, it's someone who did the first season of Agent Carter. I was like, it's Luis Despacito, and she was like, yeah, you weirdo.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, I know my stuff.
Did something happen to you?
No, why? Did you hear something?
Kamala?
What's next for you in this Marvel universe? Are you hoping that, you know, you're a regular character in all these movies now?
I mean, we already shot the Marvels with Brie Larson and Tiana Paris.
That's kind of cool.
That was really fun, just being on screen with like more people in super suits, you know, because I was very much the only person on the show, and so it's just nice to kind of have the same shoulder pains as other people. So yeah.
That's so cool to have you home. It's so cool to have you one of us now in the Marvel universe, and you know, I feel like talking is like dreams do come true.
As cheesy as it sounds, you're true. Yeah, it's right. Thank you, man.
Thank you.